Y'all get in here because I brought in reinforcements today,
right.
baby. This is Seth Theory. He's my massage therapist, and we're going to be decoding what men say. So what I did about an hour ago was I got on Facebook and I asked y'all, I said, hey, could you please write in and let me know what are things that men say in relationships or dating that confuses you? And what we're going to do is we're going to decode them. So we got some sushi here.
Oh yeah.
So we're going to dive on in. I want y'all to comment below with your own interpretations as well on what you think these guys are saying. I'm going to go with an easy one first. This is from Michelle McNeely. Hey Michelle, I'm not sure I'm ready for a woman like you.
It could just be he's not. A lot of times it depends on the stage of life that you're in. Sometimes you can meet the perfect girl, but at the wrong time.
What does that mean? That's confusing.
Not so much. I mean, a lot of times if you're really young, let's say you're like 22, 23, and you know you have some things that you have to get out of your system. To find that perfect dream girl so early on, it might be like, had I met you at 30 maybe, I would have been a lot better in a place to, you know, actually accept this love and commitment that you're actually willing to give.
To me, what I think is this. If a guy tells you that, then believe him because he's telling you the truth, right? Don't try to stick around for him, but understand that in my opinion, it's a reflection. I'm not mature enough for someone like you because if he's not ready to settle down, it's not a bad thing, but he's not at the point of maturity that you're at in terms of relationship maturity, being ready to settle down. If he needs to sow his oats, that would be somebody that you need to let go of. Do not fuck him, okay? Do not reward him. Because the reality is that you're still giving them access, which can build your heart's attachment.
Gotcha.
I would avoid it.
Because you don't want to get led on. You know, he's already told you from the jump what it is. And you know, a lot of people mature at different ages, you know, based on the lifestyle or, you know, what their family background is like. I feel like for myself, the type of man that I am now.
Have you ever told a woman that?
Not to them, but I've said it to my friends as, you know, they kind of asked me what was going on between the two of you.
Right.
And I could say something as simple as she's an amazing girl, but I feel like where I'm at right now, you know, it would be better had I met her down the road. Because me, at the age I am now, I'm all about finding a girlfriend and trying to find somebody, you know, one person. Back then, it wouldn't have been as, you know, exciting. You know, I was just like, man, this is so great, but I still feel like I gotta get some stuff out of my system. Maybe because—
What does that mean, get stuff out of the system?
Date around.
I'm asking questions I want to ask.
I mean, date around, see what it is you like, you don't like. You learn a lot from
But
dating.
if you know you like her, why do you need to see what else you like or don't like?
Because you don't know how much, depends on how long they've been together to decide if you actually like her. I mean, everyone loves that person when you first meet them. As time goes on and you actually go through some hardship and some good times, you start to slowly define what it is you're looking for and who you are as a person. So I feel like the person I am dating now is much better than I was at 22 because I kind of already know the red flags. I know what I'm looking for, what I won't stand for. And I think that's a part of growing up. So now I'm in a much better place to say, I'm ready for a girlfriend. So if I met that same person back then, I hope I can find someone back then now that was once told me they were ready before, but I just wasn't.
Do you think that in some cases, guys are more hesitant to commit than women are?
Nowadays, I don't know. I feel like nowadays it's kind of backwards.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of guys I know are looking for girls, but it's like the tides have changed. Women are so independent now that it's like they're not even leaving any room for guys to actually be a part of their life. I feel like that. I feel like there's so many examples in the world, whether it's on TV, that are showing women can just be independent. Women can be by themselves. Women can be successful. Women can do things. And it's like, well, what do we need the guy for? All we need is a baby, and we're good to go be a single mom. Well, and I'm coming from an older generation, not that much old, but I feel like I grew up in a place where I still see the value of a full family. You know, so I would never want to just, you know, envision being by myself. But I feel like a lot of girls, as I try to meet them, they're so heavily focused on work that the idea of a relationship is so far in the background. It's like, well, it wasn't really like this before when I was growing up. Now I feel like everybody just wants to be single and successful.
I think that for a lot of women, they have dealt with so much disappointment consistently from men. You fall for a man, but he's not ready to be in a relationship with him. You fall for a man, he says he's ready to be in a relationship, but then he doesn't live up to being a good partner. You deal with so much that they tied their dreams. And comment below if you agree or disagree. They've tied so much of their hopes and dreams to having a good man, and they've been failed so much that they hit a point where it's like, you know what? I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me. And not that that's the best way to go, but it's a protective mindset because you have to acknowledge that there's a lot of brothers out here,
absolutely, yeah,
who are wrecking shop and wrecking hearts.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and saying bull the women.
Yeah.
Let's read the next one.
Okay,
I like your answers. All right, here's another one. Oh,
that's a good start.
Lisa Drowdy Jackson, baby. You're a beautiful brunette, baby, and I've been through the same thing as you. She says, when he says he doesn't like to use titles.
Okay.
What's that mean?
That basically means that he doesn't want to give you, I mean, he's basically playing. Any guy, I think it's BS, yeah, because I've used that line before.
You have?
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger. I mean, like I said, I feel like everybody's gonna go through all these situations at one point in their life. And I've used that in situations where I didn't want to make that my actual girlfriend. So
you did?
I did not.
Oh, you did not?
I feel like if a guy sees what he wants, like when I come across a girl that is just undeniable, I absolutely would want to latch onto a title. Because I want to claim that, I want to make it mine. I don't want to simply allow her to just be out there accessible for other guys to latch on and claim her before I do. I have to actually be certain that that's what I want, and if it's not, then you're right, I'll say I'm not really into titles, because you probably have a few other ones on the side that maybe you're trying to figure out which one you like the best before you actually lock in.
How long does it take a man? Because my thing is this.
Yeah.
I know if I want you, I know if I don't want you. I can tell by date too if this is someone who I want to be in a relationship or not.
That's true.
Which is why it's always perplexing me when people say I'm still figuring it out.
Yeah.
It's like, are you dense or something?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
how is it a month in?
Well,
in 85? We done fucked 85 times and you still figuring it out.
I think at that point, you know that neither one of them are 100%.
Yeah.
You're just trying to figure out which of the somewhat options are the best. I don't think any one of them are like amazing to you.
You don't want them, really.
You kind of just like them all a little bit. It's probably better being with somebody than by yourself. So you're like, okay, I'll keep all these, average ones around as far as like what they mean to me, and I'll figure out which one I want to spend the most time with. But once you find that one you actually like, then you're like, okay, everybody got to go. This is the one I want.
What's the quickest you've ever given a woman a title? Like locked it down.
Yeah. Maybe like a month, I'd say.
Okay,
which
so
is pretty quick.
when you know.
I know, yeah. I mean, the way I look at it is like this. So if I go out and let's say I'm in the club and I'm just out around other women, if I don't have any interest in looking at them and I feel like the only thing I want to do is get back to my girl, then I know that that's the one.
But do you think there's also criteria? Because I think you can be in a relationship with a woman and love her to death. Okay. And it doesn't mean that other women won't get your eyes. If you're waiting for the day that women will no longer that other women will stop catching your eye.
I feel like that's how I knew that I wanted that one to be my girlfriend, because I felt like she had enough within her. See, a lot of times you only have certain qualities in girls, but then there's so much missing from them that you feel like you'll get from other girls. Maybe she's pretty, but her personality stinks, and you have a girl that happens to have a great personality. So you feel like she doesn't quite have everything there, and that's why I still seem to be wandering around. But if I find a girl that has everything within her, I don't really feel as what you smacking your lips about. Does that not make sense? When I found the girl, okay, I was like, everybody in here is like, I don't even have eyes for them. Yes, I can acknowledge that they're pretty, right? But none of them made me feel like, let me go ahead and step out on my girl and get her number.
I guess
because I felt like I'm like, this is it.
I feel like that gets chancy though, because let's say you're in a relationship with her. Okay. So in infatuation, of course you only have eyes for them. That's the beginning stage, right? Yeah. But then what happens when y'all in that next phase, a year and 2 years in, infatuation is worn off, you see that she's not perfect, she has flaws, she sees that you're not perfect, you have flaws. Yeah. And then within that, your blindness fall off anyway and you start seeing other people. Does that mean that now and then you see someone else who has traits you deem to be better than your girlfriend or have some strengths that she doesn't have, does that mean that now you lose focus on her?
No, because I feel like after that amount of time,
it sounds like you're attracted. It's like being attracted to perfection. She meets everything I want.
It's not everything. It's not even, I'm not expecting anybody to be perfect and have everything. It's more so, does she have enough to keep me engaged with her, or is it really just a few things I like about her?
That's why I smack my lips.
Okay.
Have enough. When you said the enough word.
Yeah.
I feel like. And I think this can be problematic for a lot of females and men too, who date men, is the idea that our ability to keep somebody has to be based on, are we enough to keep your attention rather than your attention being kept because you choose to focus, you choose to be disciplined, and you choose to commit. Yeah. Commitment should not be, it should not, in my mind, it should not be based on me measuring up to a standard in your mind, because yes, I need to be healthy and whole and be a good partner, but that puts a great deal of pressure on the other person to always have to live up to something that's arbitrary and created only in your head.
No, see, here's the thing. It's not as if
Clarify.
I'm not asking them to do anything for me. It's not as if I'm giving you a list of things you have to do in order for me to feel good. It's just, what are your natural qualities? Are you somebody that makes me laugh? Are you somebody that's trustworthy? These are just things that you naturally have. And if you have those, I'm going to be attracted to those. I'm not saying you have to buy me things or do certain things in which you can feel pressure. You just got to be yourself. And if that person, and if yourself is enough to keep me entertained or engaged, then that's all I'm saying. I just feel like people who get into relationships when they don't fully feel like this person has enough to keep them, those are usually the ones that tend to cheat. So that's why I don't get into relationships unless I find somebody that, captivates me so much that I don't have eyes for anybody else. I feel like they naturally, I'm looking at everyone in the club, I'm like, yeah, they're pretty and all, but my girl's amazing. She makes me laugh. She's thoughtful. She's selfless. These are things that I'm sure most of these pretty girls don't have. So I'm not even gonna think about stepping outside of my relationship for them. So it's not so much pressure. It's just, who are they as a person? Like, I got you. That's all it is. It's not. I don't try to make anybody compensate for my weaknesses or anything. I obviously know I have to bring the same amount of things to the table too.
Has there ever been anything said, and you better eat your food?
I know, I'm talking, yeah. Go ahead.
Have you ever had a woman say something to you that was confusing you? Because I know we're putting it all on you to explain what these men are saying, explain what they're doing, but y'all sometimes be confusing them too. Let's be real, So paint a picture for me, all right? Tell me something that a woman has said that is confusing for you, or that you're like, women, why do y'all say this? Or why do y'all do this when y'all really don't? Help me out.
I feel like the most common thing a woman can say is that they're basically trying to focus on themselves and focus on their career. And they're like...
Women say that too?
They say it all the time, especially nowadays more than ever before.
Okay.
Now, it could very well just be BS because they're just not interested. Or it could very well be that they literally have shut off their viewers for...
I've said it to men before because... And I don't do it anymore, but I've said to a guy I'm just kind of focused on this. I'm not in a rush towards anything because I did not want him to think that I was thirsting after something. Because in my past experience, that when you are intentional and clear with the man about what you want, I had experienced men turning off. Gotcha. It's let me kind of be at bay a little bit until I see where his head is at. Then I dive in.
And that's okay. I mean, obviously you want somebody. Yeah, I mean, if you. Nobody wants to be too available. Sometimes if I meet an amazing girl and she's so into it, I start thinking, okay, what's wrong with her? Why is she so...
Really?
Yeah, sometimes. I'll be like, for somebody what I think would be a catch, you would think that she might be a little...
Good lesson, y'all.
Yeah, because even if a friend of mine tells me about a girl, like, yeah, man, I met this beautiful girl, but she keeps blowing me up and texting me. I'm like, something's wrong with her. There gotta be something wrong with her.
That's why you can't be chasing these men, honey, because they think you're insufficient at that point. Yeah, it's true.
It's true, yeah. And I'm just like, why? And then shortly after, we usually find out. Suddenly she'll do something crazy. We'll be like,
there it is.
Yeah. We figured it out. That's why she's so available.
Eager.
Yeah, exactly.
So too available is a turn off.
Too available is a turn off. Not a turn off, but it definitely will make you...
It sounds like if you question if she crazy something wrong, that's a turn off.
It'll raise a few red flags.
Okay.
Now, once you do something, officially, now it's a turn off. But it definitely will raise some flags. But so when I say someone's focusing on their career, it's not like they're trying to keep a little bit of distance. They're just saying, I'm shutting down the possibility at all in getting to even know who you are as a person. And that's something that is really confusing to me because I'm like, what girl doesn't want to be with a guy? How did this get to a place in this world where people are really content with just success and money and not actually being with somebody? I feel like it's so different from 10 years ago. And so that's something that doesn't make sense to me at all.
I see the experience and I don't get it at all either. I feel you on that. Where it's I don't get it because I'm just like, unless you're gonna be able to sleep with that paycheck at night, unless you can marry that car, you have to. For me, I have to have connection with other people, and to me, in my mind, I believe that you can become more successful quicker when you have a good partnership. Exactly. Even if they're not in business with you, because you got that good pillow talk, you got that good support. You're not worried about going out and about every night looking for your queen, looking for your king.
That's
you got somebody at home. Exactly. Yeah, you saving money.
Exactly. And a lot of time, my last ex, although we didn't work out, there's a few things that I can give to her that I can never take away, and that she pushed me to certain. She basically pushed me to level up.
Will do that.
She pushed me to level up. She saw my potential. She saw that I was stagnant and I wasn't really elevating, and she gave me a little boost, and suddenly I was living a completely different life. I moved out of my current space, got my own place, life got better, got signed to different agencies, and so it's like she saw that. She's like, how are you not with an agency. How are you? And I'm like, I never really thought about it. She's like, we're going tomorrow. And she dragged me there, got signed. She took me out to eat, gave me a nice little reward. And it was a beautiful feeling to know that somebody that was just a girlfriend that I just saw for intimacy was actually enhancing my life. So that's why I look at it, I'm like, how is a guy keeping you from your business or your goals when in fact they should be there to help you with it?
Because if you think about it, the biggest CEOs in the world, the presidents of the United States, some of the most super hyper successful people on earth usually are married. So with your ex, she saw your potential.
Yes.
And she pushed you to bring out that potential. You had to walk it out, but ultimately she helped motivate you to do that.
Yeah.
And that was a beautiful thing for you. Let me ask you this. I'm always teaching women, do not be in a relationship with a man based on his potential. Because this success story does not always happen. So what is some advice for women, or men for that matter, anyone who's in a relationship, for people who they see someone's potential and they want to do what your ex did?
Okay. You have to be mindful if one, they even take your advice. You know, if you're just consistently pushing them and they're just not moving.
Are they receptive?
Yeah, now you're just, you're beating on a dead horse. But I was actually motivated. It actually did help me. And just having someone that actually believes in you is usually enough. And coming from a girlfriend, I don't know what it is about them. It's just a special thing that makes you want to be like the hero for them. So if you know they're rooting for you, it's a special place that sometimes they can motivate you more than a friend could motivate you.
Oh, absolutely.
Because there's more of an intimate connection between the two. And you start thinking about, okay, I want to actually give her a better life. Because at the time I had roommates and I'm thinking to myself, she shouldn't have to come home with all these guys walking around. Like, I need to be able to level up, get her a nice place where she can feel comfortable, feel at home. That was something that her presence provided me. And that helped me, move to where I was. Because I was already a very hardworking person, but sometimes you just need people to light a little fire under your butt, let you know you can do it, and then that's the benefit of a girlfriend.
It sounds like what she did was she activated your masculine energy. I always tell you all this. Masculine energy wants to protect, wants to provide, and even if that feminine energy person may be financially in a better position at that point in time, masculine energy still wants to level up to be as much of a provider as he can be within that circumstance. And so that was activated within you based on her believing in you. She saw the king in you, and you said, I want to live up to being that king that she sees in me.
Because if you're single and you're just coming across different girls, they never really stick around long enough to even think about making your life better. You're there for a purpose. It's usually lust. It comes, it goes, and then you're right back in the same circle. You stick around with somebody long enough that actually starts to know you, knows about all your talents and hidden secrets that nobody knew about. And she's like, why are you sitting on this? Like, be better. Do
she
this.
Believed in you.
And that's really what comes with taking the time with one person to actually grow. And you don't get that from dating around with all these single girls.
Do you think that a woman believing in you and seeing your potential and believing in that, do you think that can be a turn on, not necessarily sexually, but it can be something that makes you feel closer, more bonded?
Oh, of course. I mean, like I said, till this day, even though we're not together, she has a special place in my heart because of the fact that she did even that little bit. And it just got the ball rolling. Obviously we broke up, I kept it rolling, but she started it. So that definitely was a bond that we'll always have.
Now, one thing I want to highlight, because I know Seth well, I will tell you this, that she saw his potential, but he is one of the most ambitious people ever. He's always been this way. And so with that understood, if you see potential in a man, or within a woman, within a whoever, that's not enough to be with them. Like he said, they need to be receptive to it, and they also need to be walking out, because it's not like she was going out here doing the work for you. You heard what she said, and then you walked it out for yourself. So she was just more or less a cheerleader, but she wasn't the one running the play, running the place. Is that a sports term? Does that make sense? Okay. I don't know shit about sports. I'm like, I want to try a sports analogy. Just give it a go. See how that goes over. Okay, so we have another question from one of my top fans. Her name is Lynn Erickson. She says, what does it mean when a man says, I'm not on your level?
I think that just means that he's a little insecure with where he is in life. It's more of an ego trip. And
he feels inferior to her.
He's intimidated. He's intimidated by where you are in life. So that doesn't allow him to sometimes feel at ease and feel comfortable around you, like he might if he was around somebody who's doing less better than he is. Sometimes being the more successful one in the situation makes you feel a little more powerful. So like I said, depending on the type of guy that it is, it can either inspire you to level up to her level, or you can cave in and just be weak and just let her run all over you and feel intimidated.
If a man tells you, I'm not on your level, or why would you want to be with somebody like me? What I used to do, I'd be like, nah, baby, this and the other. You got this strength, you got that strength. You're wonderful in this way and that way. I would try to convince him that somehow or another he was the potential I saw in him. Yeah. Now what I've learned to do is I don't do that, because what happens is if you try to convince him that he's better than what he believes he is, he's not going to really believe it. He'll believe it temporarily, but ultimately you'll get in a relationship. Yeah. If a man believes he's inferior, he'll behave inferior, which means self-sabotaging behavior, which some in cases can mean abuse, because sometimes men act out of feeling inferior. Yeah. And so to me, if he says, I don't feel like I'm good enough, then believe him. Yeah. Okay, baby, and you silo him to the DOD category. You know, we call DOD, on demand. Okay, and you leave him over there, or you don't deal with him at all, baby, because there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah. Only time you boost someone's self-esteem is your child. Yeah. If it's your child. Yeah. You don't do that with no full-grown man. He needs to come in with some level of self-esteem. When you're talking about even with your ex, even though financially you may not have been at where she saw your full potential at, you still had a high self-esteem, because the fact is that it takes having a high self-esteem to be able to hear someone's encouragement and believe that you can walk it out.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you already came in with a level of, okay, I may not be operating at my full potential, but I know that there's greatness within me.
Exactly.
All right, got another one. Oh, before I even do that, y'all see my shirt? No Boy Zone. This is available at www.shopmjharris.com in all sizes, for the skinny minis on up to the big girls, honey. We got them, and we ship all over the place. All right, let's see here. Ooh, this was a good one. This is from Sabrina Reeves. He doesn't want to be open about the relationship. He says that he's a private person, and he wants to keep his relationships private. So no posting on social media, no telling nobody, not just social media, but not want to really talk to nobody about it. Yeah. He want to keep it quiet. What does that mean?
I personally would love to show her off. I mean, that's just me. But I don't think that alone is enough to say whether he is serious about you or not.
I agree. I don't think there's enough to say. So here's the thing I would say, to kind of just to dig a little bit deeper. Ask him why, and if he says, I'm just a private person, that's not a sufficient answer for you. Yeah. Okay? So what I would let him know is, I say, I hear you, baby. That you're a private person. Could you share with me a little bit about what do you believe the risk are that you face by being more public about the relationship? I'm just curious to understand where's your privacy rooted in, because generally speaking, with privacy, people are private for a reason. Yeah. And so I would dig a little bit deeper there. I don't think that means he's trying to hide you necessarily. Now, he don't want to show you on social media. He don't want to take you out in public nowhere. You ain't meeting no friends. I was talking to somebody the other day, and she said she'd been with him for a year. She still ain't met his friends. Girl, no.
So that's crazy. No. I mean, to not take you out in public and do things, They
were in public, but just not with nobody else.
Yeah, that's not what I'm describing. That makes no sense to me at all. That's your girlfriend. That should be the one person you ever.
He got a woman, honey. Yeah. He got somebody else.
Most likely, yeah. But if, let's say you have a crazy family, you have just people that are going to, friends that in the past have done things to tear down your relationships. Maybe they are just very sneaky people that'll try to hit on her, or they'll just, say things and instigate and make the relationship fall. Sometimes the people that mean the most to you, you do kind of want to keep to yourself, because you don't want to open that up to being jeopardized. Now, I'm not saying don't take her out on a date in public and do things, but you may want to keep her away from certain groups of people. Like I never, on my father's side of the family, if I ever met a girl I really liked, I kept them as far away from her as possible.
Really? Why?
Because I know how they are.
How are they?
Yeah, they are the type of people that love drama. You bring somebody around, hey man, I saw her looking at your cousin Reese. I'm like, what you mean?
Messy.
Yeah, they like stuff like that. It fuels their excitement, because there's not really much going on around this, so they like drama. I'm sure you guys are all very mindful of the family members in your family that are the same way. So if you know that, the only girls I'd bring around them were the girls I didn't really like. Maybe just the really pretty ones that just look good, because I know it would be fun to talk about. But I'm like, y'all can hit on her. So I'm not worried about it. But the one I really like, oh no, y'all ain't meeting her. Not until she's official. That's my wife or something. Like, I'm gonna keep her with me where it's safe, and all the other people I trust.
I've been public about past relationships.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people who leans towards privacy. Yeah. The fame factor contributes into that a bit, but also because of the fact that I've been public about past relationships, and they didn't work out. And they did not work out because I was public. When I say public, meaning broadcasting to the world through social media, they didn't work out just because they didn't work out. Yeah. And so for me, what I learned was to be private about the relationship, meaning that I share with my family and my friends, people who I'm close to, but don't bring it to the whole world through social media and stuff like that. until we've hit a certain point of connection, you know. I would even say potentially, even engagement at that point in time, you know. It's not that I don't want to show that person, but it's just something to be considerate of. Also, I think, you know, within my world, they also have to be prepared for the fact that if I post you, you're going to be inundated with people following you. People are trying to inbox you. You're exposing yourself. And are you comfortable with that? So I generally am more attracted to guys. Like if I meet a guy and I go to his page and it says private, I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. I start to tingle. I'm like, what? Or you meet a guy, and I met somebody a while ago, and I was like, what's your Instagram? And he was like, oh, I don't have no Instagram. I was like, oh my God, marry me now. You know, because I just love that because like it's, my world is so public that feels like it would be a refuge
just for you,
for me to get away from.
But then think about the girls or guys that as soon as they meet somebody, they're posting them the next day. And then every other week they're posting another guy. After a while, it's just like, okay, this is like... You look bad and it just looks like nobody really...
Or the people who are in relationships and they posting about the relationship not working out. You know, I personally think that that's something to be cautious about. So while we have you here, because I'll tell you this, Seth is a real decent guy. He's a great guy and all that goodness. He really is. And to me, you represent something I think works really, really well to make sure for the audience, which is that you represent very traditional values.
Yes.
You've got very palpable, strong, masculine energy. You're the kind of man that a lot of these women who are watching would say, I want somebody like him. If not, you someone with your values.
Yes,
you know what I mean? So with someone with your values, let me ask you this. You mentioned when a woman coming at you too hard, coming at you real hard, like, ooh, that scares you off. What's something else that kind of is a red flag for you that can turn you off? Because I think sometimes women are doing things that they don't know is a red flag.
I see what you're saying.
You know?
Let's see. I mean, it really just depends on, I guess, how secretive they are. I think.
Secretive,
I think very secretive people that keep a lot of things to themselves. You know, whether it be flipping your phone down, whether it be just constantly, walking out of a room to take calls. Like people that don't, I feel like they're hiding something. That's always gonna be a red flag to me because I'm like.
How do you address it when it comes up? Like you sit at the table and she and her phone's or y'all in bed, she leans off the side of the bed.
It depends on how much time I have invested. People get more bold and speak up more as the relationship goes on. When it's early on, you really just start to observe and you're just like, okay, this is not a habit that I like. What's really going on? It's maybe, because I always say this, when people first meet each other, there's always somebody that was there before. It's never someone just sitting under a rock.
Waiting on you.
Exactly, yeah. You're gonna have people that were in her life before you came. So I allow a little bit of time for them to filter those guys away. So if she has to take some secretive text while I'm not looking, just to kind of diffuse it a little bit, or maybe that, but
I want to ask you, I tell them up front. I mean, a guy like, I say, listen, I know that you were not hatched from an egg the day that I met you.
Gotcha.
So who else in your world? I'll tell you who's in mine. And I put it, I want to know.
Yeah, but and they'll tell you the truth if they're already committed to the idea that it's you. But sometimes early on, they don't know that you're the one just yet off the first few dates.
So if a girl asks you that, what do you say if you're not committed yet?
If I'm not committed yet, most likely a guy will probably just say something like, no, they'll joke it off, they'll laugh it off because they know they're not really that entitled to have to answer that the first weekend. Because I feel like it's understanded that I feel like it's understanded that there were other people that were in your life beforehand, and if you find that this is the one you want, you're going to slowly filter them away. You don't want to do it too aggressive to where they come back and create a problem in the relationship, but you have to fade them away so that everything's peaceful, and then you can focus on your actual girl that you want.
Why I do it early, and I want to do it early and be honest, because I don't want to build a foundation of dishonesty in a relationship, and a lot of us do that without knowing we're doing it. So the thing of, you meet somebody, y'all are talking for a couple weeks, whatever it may be, they call you up one night, and they're like, they call you up one night, you don't answer. The next morning, you text them back, clearly you're out doing something, or whatever, you're doing whatever. Why didn't you answer at 7:30? And you're like, I fell asleep early.
Gotcha.
Really?
Gotcha.
This instance of acceptable dishonesty at the beginning of a relationship, that I can give you white lies and evade the truth so I don't have to talk about the people who are lingering. And culturally, we accept this. And for me, it's like, how do you expect that we were now going to all of a sudden transition into being honest and transparent once we're in a relationship when the foundation was based on us giving white lies? So I prefer just to be honest up front and just say, I don't have to be any more committed to you, just I'm telling you what's going on in my life. Like, hey, so if you ask, are you seeing anybody else? Yeah, there are two guys I've been getting to know.
as much as I admire that honesty, it's not always as well received as you think. And I
if
think
they can't receive it, we ain't fool each other.
Yeah, but I think most people would rather believe that they're the only ones, even though they might know in the back of their mind there might be somebody else. I don't think I would want to hear a girl tell me that I was interested in that I have multiple guys. I would rather just allow her a little bit of
Texas off to the side.
Well, no, if it's just something that repeats and continues, then there's a problem. But if it's really early on, I would rather just give her the leeway to handle that.
Yeah.
Like, let them go at your schedule. Don't keep them around for too long, because then I'm going to start to ask questions, because now we're getting closer. But if I just meet you, I always leave a little window to say, okay, if I'm the one you want, start filtering those guys out. I trust that you'll be able to handle it accordingly. I don't need to be knowing everything quite yet. But no, I don't feel like that's the foundation of lies. I feel like that just happens. That's just natural.
But in order to maintain that distance, lies can sometimes white lies can come up. Is what are you doing tonight, honey? What are you? Oh, I'm just going to the movie with.
No, I mean a month in, that's a lie. A month in, that's a lie. First few days.
A lie. A day in.
Yeah, but okay. I'm gonna give you an example. So I met this girl.
Yeah.
And we were very, very new. And she called me and I was getting pizza. I was down the street. She says, hey, where are you? I said, I'm just getting pizza. When I came home, she was at my front door. And I was really shocked at the idea that she felt so comfortable to just show up at my front door. And I said, what are you doing here? She said, oh, I was just getting pizza. And in my mind, I'm like, but what if I lied?
Hold on.
What if I was just saying that?
But that's what she did. She was gonna drop in the seat. That was a verification check, honey. That was a wellness check. What they call them when they send the cops to your house, a wellness check in.
That was real. It was really bold so early on. I was like, you don't get to do that type of stuff until you're my girlfriend, to just show up unannounced. Not a weekend. A weekend just seemed a little.
Had y'all had sex already?
No, we hadn't had sex.
Okay, I was like, maybe she was hitting this.
We didn't have sex. No, we were just. We were having a good time, but it wasn't to the point where I had enough time to feel as if I want her to just pop up. Because I'm like, that early on, I would never do that to a girl, because I feel like
it's intrusive.
She could very well have been with somebody that she was trying, because you guys don't realize there's a process in trying to get rid of people. You can't just simply block their calls as soon as you meet someone.
How do you break it off with someone that you're not interested in? Not like you're in a long-term relationship, but you've been dating for a little bit and you want to break it off.
If I met somebody that I really like and I have to get rid of the other ones, I do it in a way that doesn't make an enemy out of them. Because you don't want them to come back and be, spiteful of your new relationship. So
how do you do that?
I'll talk to them. I'll basically, let them know. How do I do it? I mean, there's a few different methods you can do. One, you can kind of just slowly stop answering their texts until they kind of get the hint.
Pull your hand from the lines.
You kind of just very slowly and steadily kind of make it seem like it's more their idea to let you go instead of you cutting it off with them.
That's manipulative.
No, if it's their if they
I've
feel
been
like,
the member before. I can't put that on you. I've done that.
Because that way they can't get angry at you. They'll be like, you know what? Maybe this isn't a good fit for me anyway. I'm gonna leave, and you be like, okay.
Y'all pay attention to that. So if he's slowing down on texting you, he may be sending you a message.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's true.
He's indirectly is letting you know that he's probably hoping that you pull the plug, so he doesn't have to be the enemy. So that's one way. Another way could just be simply to tell them. But those are usually like the more natural way. I just let it fade away slightly, until if they don't get the hint, then you have to be like, listen, this isn't working. We're better off as friends. But you don't have to actually be their friends, but at least tell them that you're no longer interested in pursuing them romantically.
My thing about the fade away is that the fade away always ends up with a pop up. So if I just let them fade away and I end up dating the new guy, and then months later, here we go, pop up text, and I'm beside my new guy, we're out and about. This has happened to me before. Let the guy fade away. I thought I was letting him fade away. And then we're out and about. I remember we're about to sit down at a restaurant, right? About to sit down. And then old boy is coming out of the restaurant, the previous one is coming out. Hey, how you doing? It's been a while. Hey, stranger. Now my boo was at the host stand. So I was standing by myself. So the guy did not know that I had he comes up to hug me, and the way he comes to hug me, that low hand with the hand right here. It was communicated. Everybody in that room know he hit it before. You know what I mean? Just the way he came at me. And so my man turns around and sees him like, oh, hi, how are you? Because I wasn't gonna hug him like that. And then so he walks away. And then my man says, who was that? Now, I'm honest. I am so honest. I said, that was somebody who I was getting to know before you.
Gotcha.
He was like, well, does he know that y'all done? Because the way he came at you was like kind of, and I was like, well, I never really officially ended. I just kind of slowed down text and stopped calling him. He was like, oh. And in my mind, that hit me when I said, I need to tell people. Not to say that's the right way, but I was like, I need to actually tell people. So my way of doing this, I'll just call them up and just very honest, like, hey, so it's been really great getting to know you. I've enjoyed myself with you, but here's the reality. I've started dating someone that's getting pretty serious. So, just out of respect for him and what we have, probably gonna just continue communication for right now.
So if I had something for a long time with somebody, then I would feel that inclination to be a little more upfront with
I get that.
If you just kind of talking to somebody, I'll tell you now, 99% of the people, whether it be they stop talking to me, I stop talking to them, once the communication is lost, you just get it.
You get it.
Yeah, you don't really have to have that conversation unless
some people need it, but some people don't get
some
it.
People
they will hit you up. Hey stranger, hey stranger. If you have to say hey stranger 3 times
well, at that point you can tell them. If it's been a month since you stopped talking to them and you're currently with somebody, but one, I wouldn't be upset if a text came in and I was with the girl. She told me it was somebody from a month ago.
Right.
I would just be like, okay, you haven't talked to him in a month. Let this be the opportunity. You tell them now I'm in a relationship. Correct it, but I wouldn't be upset because most people just get it, But if they come back and they're a problem, then you just simply, now you can bring it to the forefront, tell the boyfriend what's going on, who it is, and then you guys can put a clean cut to it.
Okay.
But that's what I feel. I feel like not everybody has to have that explanation, like this is what unless they really had their feelings invested in you and you feel that it's gonna really hurt them if you don't just give them an explanation up front. But I usually just get it. You know what I mean? Like if a text slows down, I say, okay, the interest obviously isn't there.
Yeah.
Vice versa. Let me move on somewhere else where I feel it's more receptive. So, I mean, I just feel like that's just kind of common sense.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, so question for you before we close out, because you've been fabulous, okay? So question for you before we close out, and folks, comment below the questions for Seth, just in case he comes back, we'll have more questions for him. What advice would you give to women? Because there's a whole lot of women out here, and men too, but a lot of women out here who they want their king.
Okay.
They want a man like you. You a business owner.
Yeah.
You keep yourself together. You know what I mean? You got traditional values.
Yeah.
You want to build something with somebody. They want somebody like you.
Yeah.
What advice do you give them on how to attract somebody like you?
I would say it depends on where you're looking. You're probably not gonna find most guys like myself in the club every single night. I'm from the East Coast. I know that a lot of people back east tend to have these values and tend to be a little bit more like this.
But once they found a guy like you, treating you, how do they need to treat you? Because they can, so they need to be walking on the street. Now, what do they need to do beyond that point?
Once they meet me or know me?
Yeah, and getting to know you. Like, what are some things that you find attractive that make you say, this is the kind of woman I want to be in a relationship with?
So, number one is I like the supportive aspect of it. I like somebody that can actually want to grow something with me and not simply just depend on me. That to me just gets really, I don't like the idea of it. I obviously would love to lead, but I definitely don't want somebody who has nothing and they're just looking for something.
So you're not looking for a city girl coming saying with a bag?
Exactly, no, I don't want that at all. Secondly, it's okay to be independent, but you do have to leave some room for a man to be a man.
Tell us more what that means.
What that means is this. Me personally, I'm a very handy man. I'm very hands-on. I fix things, I build things. I like that space.
Your inbox is blowing up right now.
That's okay. That's all right. Okay. I love that aspect of it because not only does it make me feel at home, but I'm good at it.
Yeah.
So if you happen to have that same skill, maybe a little bit, I don't like to have you over my shoulder second guessing all the things that I'm doing. Like, allow me that space to be a man. You know what I mean? If you're a phenomenal cook, and maybe I know how to cook as well, if that's your space and that makes you feel good being able to do that for me, I'm going to allow you to have that because that's obviously something that makes you feel, happy in the fact that you're able to give something for me.
And have a sense of purpose.
Exactly. You have to give people a sense of purpose and allow them space to be, within your life. And don't show them that you can do everything that they can do because then they're like, well, what do you need me for? And
so even if she can do something you can do,
I feel like
let you do it sometimes.
Exactly. Sometimes it's good to just scale back slightly. It's not as if we're trying to, make you feel less of yourself.
No.
But I feel like certain things, let the man be the man where he needs to be. I mean, if he's lacking something, step in. But if he got it, let him do his thing. That's kind of like one thing that's always been good for me because, I like to be able to feel this. I'm a Cancer. Cancers like to feel at home, and the best place to make us feel at home and secure is to know that we have a purpose.
Yeah.
So that's my advice.
How do they follow you?
The best place to follow me is on Hands of Fury, which is Instagram. It's Hands of and then F-U-R-E-Y. That's my massage therapy company. You can also find me, DM me there. If you have any more questions, I'm going to be starting a new podcast called Fury Talks in February, so look out for that as well.
I'm going to be
Same spelling. Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Perfect. Thanks for coming
so
on.
much, man. It was a pleasure. Thank you for the food.
Of course. And I want y'all to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I want y'all to comment below this video too, because I'm interested to hear more things that you want to know about men, because we're going to do more of these segments in the future. Anyways, I just want to know more things you want to know about men, things that mystify you, things that confuse you, things that make you say, what the fuck? Just go ahead and comment below with that. And of course, share this and tag some friends in this, baby, because we helping change lives.
Yes.
Baby. Have a good one, y'all.
Later.